went back in time to kill the evil from the future. Korin Lok slowly opened his eyes. Dian Chek said, "So, you are finally awake. You use your body far too recklessly. Aaron, that child, must have a lot of worries. He was Danon of medicine." Dian checked. Korin Lok sat up and said, "This is..." Then holding his head, he muttered to himself, "I definitely remember being cut down. Even though Nuwata said he supported Tatez, he let me live?" Dian Chek replied. "His Majesty said that he would be watching your results. He asked me to pass on that you have passed the trial." He then showed Korin Lok the arm of Nuwata. A system notification appeared. Tier, Epic. Ergetlam. This divine armament was forged through the collaboration of Dian Chek, Master of the Healing Arts, and Goibniu, the Great Blacksmith. It was completed as a perfect arm by Dian Chek's son, Miach. It is the only vessel capable of withstanding infinite power, serving as indestructible armor. It can contain limitless power. When equipped as a set with Claw Solus, magic power increases by 200%. No system authority. Korin Lok thought to himself, in the game, this was the hidden piece once used by Ohard Bress, the strongest subordinate of Balthazar. No, hidden piece does not do it justice. There was never any method for a player to obtain Ergetlam in the game. He smiled faintly. It was worth pushing myself near death. Not only did I stop Ohard Bress from getting stronger, but with this, I might finally be able to wield the sun perfectly. Then he said aloud, "Then, please ease Aaron and the friends who came with me." Dian Chek shook his head. "Not yet." Korin Lok was shocked and confused. He thought in Mag-Mel, the system allows players to encounter different gods depending on which item they bring. But in the game, there was never a case where one could meet all of the gods. Of course, the treasure received was assigned to the player, and it was always limited to just one. This is something I have never seen in the game or in my past life. Soon, other Danans arrived. Danan of the Earth, Dagda said. Even if he has stepped down from the throne, he is still the eternal sun. One recognized by the late king is no different from being recognized by us. Dian Chek added, "Thus, we have also decided to give you a reward as well." Angus went off somewhere, saying he should also reward the 3 girls. Korin Lok, not amused, muttered, "Oh, okay." Then Danan of the Sea, Manannan Mac Lear said, "I will introduce myself. I am the Danan of the Sea, Manannan Mac Lear. Among the Danan, I am the wealthiest, possessing countless treasures." Korin Lok thought to himself, "I know her. Manannan is the owner of the treasure island, Mag-Mel, as well." Manannan continued, "The hero who passed the king's trial will receive a precious item from me." Korin Lok was stunned. Not just 1 treasure, but 3. "Woo," he whispered. Suddenly, a voice said, "To think Nuwata acknowledged you. You truly are an exception." Korin Lok's expression froze. That's the strongest Danan of all time, the one responsible for leaving Tatez Balthazar behind. It was Danan of Light, Lu Lamfada. Lu said, "Since I have already given Tatez everything, I have nothing left to give you. However, if you manage to defeat my successor, what he leaves behind will be yours." Korin Lok was taken aback. In the original game as well, once the final boss was cleared, those treasures could no longer be retrieved. In particular, the treasures of Lu Lamfada had belonged to Balthazar from the very beginning and could never be obtained by any means. He asked, "Why are you who stood on Balthazar's side going this far?" Lu replied, "Do not misunderstand, child. You are the successor of Aaron Danua, the Danan of justice, and now you have inherited the power of the sun. The fight between you and Tatez will be an honorable duel between warriors. From this moment, we will not take either one's side. Also, regardless of who wins, our wish will be fulfilled." Korin Lok, confused, asked, "What?" With Lu's cryptic words, the trials concluded. Korin Lok was granted multiple legendary items. First, Tier Legendary, Gay Dirg the Crimson Spear, one of the twin spears of Manannan Mac Lear. Second, Tier Legendary, Boiling Serpent's Venom of the River Berg Venom taken from a serpent that dwelled within the heart of a baby cursed with doom by Dian Chek. Last, Tier Legendary, Uathene the Harp of the God King Dagda, known as the legendary Harp of Slaughter. It is said to have slain 9 giants. Believe in it, and strike. Korin Lok thought, including Ergetlam. I ended up receiving 4 treasures. As the Danans flew away, Lu Lamfada said, "But is this enough for Aaron's dowry? Doesn't it feel like we should send a few more things?" Dagda snapped, "Tisk, it isn't like that." Dian Chek added, "Next time, if they bring a few grandchildren, we can give more then." Dagda grumbled, "It doesn't seem like it will end with just a few." Lu Lamfada sighed, That's enough. A few weeks later, Corin's guardians held a meeting. Corin Locke said, Alicia received Nevin's red horse from Angus, while you got Maha's curse? Mariette Dunalef blushed. I don't know why he was nice to us, even though we did not pass the trial. Corin frowned. We failed the trial? I do not remember anything, though. Alicia Arden blinked. Huh? When did I take a trial? Warren said. Let's do it again. What kind of trial was it? Angus smirked and replied, 3 people's minds that were only thinking of one person. Ah, what a beautiful thing. Wishing that the love of all the girls will bear fruit, I shall bestow each of you with a present. Mariette Dunalef murmured. Something was wrong with his laugh. Corin Locke, resting on her soft legs, said, but senior. She cleared her throat quickly. Ahem. I still have to write the mission clear report for the association. Mariette Dunalef smiled gently. You can do that a bit later. You should rest a little. You suffered by yourself again this time, and we were not of any help. Corin Locke hesitated. Is that so? He closed his eyes and thought to himself, it's so soft. Yeah, maybe just a little. Suddenly, a cat screamed at the window. Nyah! Startled, Corin exclaimed, Ack! He opened the window. Oh my, is that you, Butterfly? Come here. He thought to himself, this is a cat that has been hanging out around the Guardian's office lately. Corin said, Senior, is there any fish left in the kitchen? This one likes fish. Specifically, I think it likes braised mackerel. Mariette Dunalef blinked. Braised mackerel. Corin, did you hear what President Huaran got at Magmel? Corin replied, Nope, Huaran would not tell me. Mariette chuckled softly. Hoo, is that so? I see. As she and the cat locked eyes, tension filled the air like crackling electricity. Mariette took out a cat toy and said sweetly, Butterfly, do you want to play with me? Butterfly hissed loudly. Ha! Corin thought to himself, it may be surprising, but the scholarly atmosphere of Merkabah is nothing if not laid back. Compared to modern universities, the required credits for classes are fewer, and even those few classes can be substituted with mission activities from the Guardian Association. The spirited students were already actively going on missions. The same was true for Corin's guardians. Drawn said, Employer, everything on this side has been taken care of. Corin Locke nodded. Already? Your flying sword swordsmanship is improving day by day. Drawn grinned. The magic sword from Mananan is incredible. A system notification appeared. Tier, legendary, colossal fury. Moraltak, a legendary hidden piece from Arhan, Legend of Heroes. This cursed blade of destruction specializes in wide area attacks. Corin thought, just like I received treasures from Magmel. Drawn, alongside various other members, also succeeded in obtaining treasures. Thanks to that, I recklessly cleared the missions handed out by the Guardian Association. He muttered, looks like I've nearly maxed out my promotion quota. Crenell Luden laughed. You mean the Guardian rank, right? Being promoted to rank 1 in less than 2 months since joining is practically a legendary record, isn't it? Corin replied. Of course, I also had Mariette's support with the Wyvern. He thought to himself, since I could travel anywhere quickly, the journey was always shortened by at least 2 days. Crenell nodded. Good. Looks like everyone's doing well. But I haven't seen Jermaine Luther around lately. Corin said, that guy's been busy. Then he thought to himself, he hasn't been seen since yesterday. It's probably about that time. At the church, Jermaine Luther said, Bishop. The bishop turned and said, Oh, Jermaine Luther, I heard you recently joined the Promising Guardians. Is that true? Jermaine nodded. Indeed. Thanks to that, it was a great help in finding the information you instructed me to. As he knelt down, he added nervously, however, during the mission, I found the Black Mage's experiment lab. There was a letter from you there. Is it true that you captured children and sacrificed them? The bishop was silent for a long moment. Then, in a soft but chilling tone, he said, Brother, he muttered under his breath. How annoying. Suddenly, his voice changed, dark, heavy, and cold. On the path of following God, there are times when one must inevitably be stained with mud. Jermaine Luther exclaimed, But, this is different. The bishop raised his voice. Remember the days when we hunted witches? There were innocent victims, yes. But thanks to it, did we not purify hundreds of witches? The path of serving the greater cause is always harsh and full of suffering. Even God himself will know of their sacrifice. Jermaine's shoulders trembled. I understand. He turned and ran out, slamming the door behind him. The bishop frowned in fury. Arrogant child. I'll have to take care of him after this is over. He muttered to himself. The plan to ascend the infernal Yaksha and trigger a massacre collapsed, and everything fell apart. Moreover, in the process, 2 of the 7 factions of the Mage Tower were annihilated. To think that sorcerer from the east was subdued so foolishly. Crushing the paper in his hand, he burst into a surge of dark energy. However, making use of even failures like that is the will of God. In a different scene, the priest said, "Saintess, how is the plan for transporting the prisoners coming along?" A lady answered, "Wow." Estelle Hadasha El Ras said, "Everything is going smoothly. We will be transporting them with the holy knights." She walked with elegance, her short ceremonial dress fluttering lightly as she continued, "We have managed to round up an entire chain of class of vicious heretics." The priest replied, "They are truly impure beings. They must be judged here at the Zion Sanctuary." Estelle Hadasha El Ras said, "With Morshutan of the Mage Tower, Formation Sorcerer Kang Ryun, and even the old church's cross-charge squad, there are too many prisoners. We will have to travel by land. It will take some time before we arrive." The priest frowned. "In that case, Saintess, that disgraceful outfit, what on earth?" Estelle Hadasha El Ras smiled and winked. "Shh." Then she suddenly looked to the side and said, Her eyes widened. Miriam Elizabeth El Ras turned back to look at her. Can that night, on the day of transferring Merkabah's prisoners, a grand procession headed toward the Holy Land for the judgment of heretics. The journey, blessed by the Saintess herself, had begun. It might not have been appropriate for the Saintess to personally take part in escorting prisoners, but since so many powerful and influential figures were gathered in one place, the church made thorough preparations in case of an escape attempt. Estelle Hadasha El Ras said, "I expected a certain amount." Before she could finish, a soldier outside shouted, "It's an ambush! Protect the Saintess!" Estelle muttered to herself, "Those shameless Mage Tower bastards. I thought they were disgraceful ever since they tried to kidnap the Dunalef girl, yet now they dare to turn me into an enemy too. Do they have someone backing them up? Or was the prayer's power lacking? No, with this many people, its effect is bound to weaken." A soldier rushed to the carriage and flung open the door. "Saintess, please escape. It's dangerous here." Then he froze. "Huh?" The Saintess was not inside. At another door, Kang Ryun said, "Ho ho, look who it is." Elder Morshutan sneered. "Coming here to let us go yourself. Have you gone insane, Saintess?" As Estelle Hadasha El Ras appeared in the doorway, Kang Ryun mocked to think that a so-called Saintess would be this ignorant. Elder Morshutan said, "Does she not realize that the moment she opened the cage, the magical restraints binding us were also undone?" They immediately unleashed their attacks at her. Elder Morshutan laughed coldly. "Cuckoo. So this is the Saintess? Pathetically weak. Is this really all she amounts to?" Kang Ryun said, "My body feels stiff. Once we reach the east, I will need to recuperate." Estelle raised her voice. "How could you defy lawful procedure and commit the grave sin of a prison break?" Elder Morshutan stopped, his eyes trembling. "How could this be? The flames of judgment that are supposed to burn until even bones turn to ash." Estelle raised her staff. "Let us repent." She prayed, "The Lord grants protection, so the enemy's iron chariots shall not dare to harm me." The prayers of a Saintess create the miracles of God. Her voice deepened as divine light enveloped her. "I shall not be harmed. The Lord shall protect me from war horses, iron chariots, and fiery steeds." Elder Morshutan screamed, "Tee this insane lady dog, don't here, over there." Her voice thundered with faith. "Therefore, if he so wishes, may the Lord watch over me and you. Take the iron staff and crush them to pieces. Then, like a potter shattering clay, you shall smash your enemies." A holy radiance erupted, consuming the forest in blinding brilliance. She can even become nigh invincible. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.